Hello, family. My name is Chris. I am your home gamer dad, and it's been a while since I presented to you guys a full Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid session. Now, I know a lot's been going on these last few months with this game, coming to the end with the Eternal Rangers and just, everyone talking about what they're going to do afterwards, the creating of Rangers, when it's going to be out, if it's going to make it on time because of all the craziness going on in the world and things along that ways. But, regardless of all that, I felt like I've been long overdue with giving you guys one of my playthroughs for this. And in order to jump back in, I wanted to hear what you guys wanted me to play. So I threw down a poll on my community page. And then if you're a YouTube member or a Patreon subscriber, you were able to see that again in order to be able to get extra votes in and everything. But I picked out 4 particular scenarios from the book, and you guys all voted that I should be playing Scenario 14, The Green Candle. It actually looked like Scenario 16, Finster's Fusion, was going to take it for a while there, but man, the Green Candle just came in out of nowhere, swept in, and was like, no, this is what we want to watch. It's a very interesting scenario from what I'm reading through it and everything. Looks to me a little difficult because, your Green Ranger that you're playing as is slowly but surely losing a lot of its power, and you need that in order to survive the longevity of the game in order to be able to get through. I'm not exactly sure how to go about, going through this and everything, but hey, the team that I picked out was from various suggestions that you guys gave me, from voting on that poll and everything along that way. So who am I bringing into this? Well, first things first, understand this. When you're reading about the Green Candle, it constantly talks about Tommy Oliver, Tommy Oliver, Tommy Oliver. Yes, Tommy Oliver is Mighty Morphin Green. He had his powers siphoned through the Green Candle in the show. That's what the scenario is all about. Really, all you need is Mighty Morphin Green. So in this situation, I am making myself I'm using the same rules from the scenario, but instead of Tommy Oliver, my Green Ranger is Mathew Cook. I am not really familiar with Matt. I haven't really read anything from his stories in the Boom comics. I've just kind of gone online to the Ranger fan pages and various other posts and things like that and kind of read a little bit of background on him and everything. But hey, he sounds really cool. I know a lot of people call him Tommy 2.0, or at least the way that they were trying to make him like that in the comic books. But hey, he's there. He has his own storyline. He has his own ideas and everything. He tries to be a strong leader and everything, but he's really more of an independent person. Like, you see him as like that lone stranger, that one who is more powerful than most of the other people, but he only comes around when he wants to. Whereas Tommy, he had a lot of that, but he was also really leadership material, which is why I believe in this point in the comic book, Tommy is the White Ranger. So now Matt has managed to gain the Green Ranger powers, so he is the Green Ranger. So I'm going to use that as my basis for this scenario of why he's getting his powers siphoned out. A call for help has been shot across the morphing grid, so now we have 2 other Rangers that have appeared in order to be able to help him out. Orion, the Silver Super Mega Force Ranger. I don't like Mega Force at all, or Super Mega Force. I felt like that season was completely wasted. But Orion is a cool character, and he's also the only one that we have from that season there. I will explain how his key deck works, which is kind of something I really wanted to try out. So far, it looks really cool, and I can see me having a lot of fun with it in other games, but I'll go into a little more detail about that when we get down to the table. And then Elleraine, the Violet Solar Ranger. Elleraine, I'm going to call her L. The cards that you get for Matt, I was able to take the 2 cards that you get with not only his card right here, his character card, but his 2 additional cards that you get in Ranger Ally Pack 4. So that is where Matt Cook comes from. L right here comes from the Rangers United, so that will be with your Omega Rangers and everything. I'm actually really excited to use her because I enjoy using her. I've used her before outside of the recordings. She makes a great battery, lots of energy potential. And then back to Ally Pack 4, you'll be able to find Orion as well. So that's who I've chosen. That's where you can find them. And that's for you if you wish to decide. Head on down to the description section, or I think I might even have something in the comment section. I'll have links, affiliate links that I use for Renegade Games. Should you wish to pick any of these up for you, they're probably still there and probably still on sale. But as their supply goes out, then you're going to need to find other things. So I direct you over to Noble Knight Games. Wonderful place. Thank you guys so much for that affiliate connection with that. Those will also be down in the description section below. Still ways to get this, but if you don't have them and you want them, I wouldn't sit on it for too long. With that said, why don't we head on down to the table so this way we can learn a little bit more about this particular green candle that has been made for Matt Cook in order to be able to siphon off his newly acquired Green Ranger powers and see if he can resist it, power through it, and our team could defend him and, of course, the world. Ready? Let's get to the story. Once, Rita Repulsa granted Tommy Oliver the power of the Dragon Zord to defeat the Power Rangers. He turned against her and used those powers to save the world. Now, with a new person taking up the mantle as the Green Ranger, the time has come for Rita to collect on the Green Ranger's debts. To this end, the alien witch has lit the Green Candle, a cursed artifact that has been bound to the Green Ranger's powers. As the candle burns, it slowly drains the power from Mighty Morphin Green Ranger. Rangers must come together from across the galaxy in the morphing grid to defeat Rita and prevent her from adding the green power coin's immense strength to her own magical power. Here we go, going up against the dreaded Candle of Doom! Guess that's what you get for shopping in the restricted section of Bath & Body Works. Anyway, what we have right here are a team already set up in the middle. We got all of our boards. We got our two enemies, our two foot soldiers that we're going to go up against, and then our deployment deck all ready to go. Before I go into the explanation a little bit further of the green candle, just remember this is solo mode rules. This is the primary way which I play this game. The last time I played for you guys, it was two-player mode where I had 4 Rangers out here and then 2 different decks of the 2 Rangers shuffled together. I do want to do that again. That was a lot of fun and worked out pretty well and showed off a lot more Rangers. But for right now, I think this is the better way to do it. Yes, I could still play one-handed on each one of these Rangers, but I like the solo mode rules personally. I think they're really good. I also think my command center is upside down. It absolutely is. So we'll spin that back before anybody out there gets a problem with some OCD. And then I will remind you guys that I have 5 actions in order to run these guys around with. I will have the ability to gain up to 7 actions by the time I am done with this. A single recover action will recover 2 Rangers, 6 shields apiece, and then I have 3 lives of sorts in order to beat this game. Now, the recover action is very, very important because as part of the green candle, that is one of the triggers that lowers the Green Ranger's deck. The idea of it is that you keep going through your rounds and you're fighting and everything like that, and slowly but surely you're removing cards from his deck. 1, 2, 3, a card will automatically come out of here at the end of each round. When it comes out, it's taken out of the deck and it's flipped face up and it's put over to the side. At any point during a battle, I would say Tommy, but your MMPR Green Ranger, because you know it's not Tommy in this particular run, can discard a card from his hand, placing it on the bottom of his deck, not in his discard pile, I'm sorry, it goes on the bottom of his deck, and then you're able to play one of your face-up cards that you have set aside as this is slowly but ticking down. So you're not losing these cards completely, you're just they're just going over to a new area, kind of drawing back in their power every so often. But if you lose too many and you can't draw any cards or you don't have any cards in your hands or whatever, then it's an immediate loss because Tommy, Matthew, whoever it is you want to be your Green Ranger, has siphoned too much green energy from the morphing grid. But like I said, at the end of each round, you're going to be taking one of these and getting rid of them. Every time you recover, after you put cards back into your deck and shuffle it, you then take the top card and you get rid of that. And then in the end, once we have our big bad that's been revealed, which if you know scenario 14, then you know who that's going to be. If not, then make it a surprise. Once they pop out, that also goes away, but there's a special rule for that character once we meet them. Otherwise, everything is exactly the same. We have Z putties and we have Chaos putties as our foot soldiers right here. I figured I'd do the whole energy absorption thing with the Chaos putties because they're all green and crazy powered up this way. And then the Z putties, I think Green Ranger has a few images in there with him or something like that. So I want to just use the Z putties. I haven't used them that much and I think they're a good addition to this game to just kind of like ramp up the difficulty a little bit. But as you can see, we have all of their locations right here. Angel Grove High, and I want to say the Industrial District are tied to the Chaos Putties, which are the Super Putties. And then the Dockyard and the Power Plant are tied to the Z Putties. I'm not using their alternate sides. We're just going to keep going like that because out of everything that's going on here, I have a lot of other special mechanics that we're going to have to deal with that I don't want to really lose track of by just having extra things on the board. Speaking of which, let's head over to the power board and get a closer look at our team. And here we are over here, my fellow Rangers. Now, just to kind of point things out as per normal, I have the various tokens right here that my buddy Paul made that represents my experience points as I go along. I'm just going to pull these out right now because they'll go back in as I defeat foot soldiers and whatnot along the way. Got our 5 actions right here. Remember, everybody moves as a team in solo mode, so one movement will move all 3 Rangers. This is going to tell me whose turn it is on the board, which I think Paul is creating a different token for this or something along that ways. I got some very special things coming up involving his tokens very soon, so stay tuned for all of that. Got our Zord deck right here, 5 Zords plus a Megazord that I have chosen for this specifically. 2 energy in the energy pool because that's just how it is at the beginning of every battle. 3 lives right there, and then a lot of extra stuff over here. Let's first start with Mathew Cook. So now within this scenario, as I mentioned before, Matt has basically, his storylines within the comic book, I really got to get a little bit more in depth into it or whatever, but I know that, you know, he's the 3rd Green Ranger. He was recruited by the 3rd Red Ranger. I forget what her name was. He, I should say, Matt here, had a green with evil arc, so he became bad at one point. He never did the green candle, but I think this is fun to have the green candle here because it's just kind of a throwback to like Tommy's reign as it, which I know Matt doesn't like Tommy because Tommy and Kimberly are together, and Matt used to date Kimberly, which is also a really weird thing. This is also the time of the Ranger Slayer, so it's just it's very interesting storyline altogether. But Mathew Cook right here, once per battle, you may place up to 2 dice on this card, right there, by the way. Each time you perform an attack during this battle, you may remove 1 dice from this card to add 1 dice to that attack. So there's only 1 dice you're adding at a time, but at the same time, you could just add 2 different attacks with Matt using those dice, and I think that is really awesome. That's why I don't have his once per battle thing here. I just have the 2 dice, and I'll just reload the dice every time. Matt can be found, again, in the Ally Pack 4, and once I find his unique cards, I'll point them out. Well, they're not really unique, but they're cards that have his image on it for one, and then another one in there as well. You don't have to use Matt if you use those in your Green Ranger deck, but they're all Green Ranger cards regardless. Moving down the line, we have Orion, the one and only Super Mega Force representative within the game. I could only imagine how crazy this team would have been if Renegade continued to put out figures, because the key mechanic to this whole thing is wild. So let's just read this right here. He is a Silver Ranger, so he's considered a 6th Ranger. That is very important because you're going to construct your key deck with Rangers who are not core team members. So 6th Rangers, extra Rangers, things along that ways. Once per Ranger turn in battle. So not once per battle, just once per every Ranger turn. You can discard 1 card from your hand to draw 1 card from your key deck. Now, what is the key deck? We'll bring this little card out over here. I'm going to put it here and then like make the bigger size over on that side. But basically, I'll flip it over to the setup side for this. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to choose 3 other Rangers other than obviously Orion. And that's going to be your limits to the cards that you're going to be able to use when you construct your key deck. I used 5 for Orion in this for 2 reasons. 1, I didn't read this early enough. And 2, thematically, all of the cards within Orion's key deck for this particular session are Tommy cards. Come on. This whole thing is based off of the Green Ranger's power being siphoned. It's a previous thing that Tommy did, and now Matt's going through it. So Orion is fusing together with past Tommy powers and just kind of going from there. So yes, there are 5 Rangers technically in here, but I have underneath Orion's card 3 Tommy forms that he could be able to pull energy from. So I kept with that. Always, it doesn't say it on the setup card, but I would also put to the side the character cards. Oh no, it does say it. Set aside the character cards from those other Rangers. Sorry, it does say it right there. Haha, ignore me, it's right there. And construct a 10-card deck with exactly 20 shields using cards from those other Rangers. So this is a 10-card deck with 20 shields in it. It's actually the standard, 3-4-3 standing, 3-1 shield, 4-2 shield, 3-3 shields in it. So that would be your 20 cards. That is your key deck. Shuffle your key deck and place it face down next to your character. Flipping it over, how do you use the key deck? Certain effects let you draw from your key deck, but you cannot draw from it otherwise. So that gives you a draw, Orion's power. There are cards within Orion's deck that enables him to draw as well. Once drawn, they just go right to his hands. Key cards, which again are these right here, can be played from hand normally. If they're in their hand, they can just be played. Hooray. If a key card would enter another deck or any discard pile, place it on the bottom of your key deck instead. So you can't stack other decks with these. And you can't, that's it. You can't put it in another deck. You can't put it in another discard pile. Very specific wording there, and I'll explain why in a moment. So after all of that, shuffle your key deck at the end of each battle. So basically, as you're using the cards, they're going to go to the bottom of the key deck, and then instead of stacking the deck at the end of the battle, you just shuffle it all together, so next time you start drawing, you don't know where you're drawing from. Now, as far as the character cards that I've picked for Orion over here, again, I've taken 3 Tommy cards, Legendary Mentor, Black Ranger. Once per battle, before a Ranger performs an attack, I can add 1 dice to the attack. Love adding dice. Oh, that's ripped. I gotta fix that, or get a replacement. I took the Guardian Light ability from Mighty Morphin White. Once per battle, when any Ranger reveals a card for defense, you can add 1 shield to that card. And as I draw the cards that trigger these, I'll point them out, but just keep them to the side for right now. That's why they're under Orion. And then finally, I decided to use Gift of the Dragon, which was Tommy's second ability that he got from the Legendary Ranger Tommy Oliver pack. Once per battle, you may place 1 card from your hand on another Ranger's character card. That Ranger may play that card as if it's in their hand. Place that card on the bottom of your deck after it resolves. Why? It doesn't say anywhere. Rules as written, okay? Rules raw right here. I don't see any reason I can't give another Ranger a card from my key deck because it's going on their card and it's being played as if in the hand. See what I'm doing there? It's not in their discard pile. It's not in their deck. It's just placed over to the side. And then once that Ranger plays that card, instead of it coming to the discard pile, it goes to the bottom of my key deck. I don't see any reason why I wouldn't be able to do something like that should I need be. I don't think I'm going to use this ability, but I feel like that is something that is very, very plausible and able to do. But that is how Orion works, and you will see him even more in action as I start drawing these cards, and you can see exactly what makes up the key deck and why, as much as I am not a fan, I'm not a fan of all of Super Mega Force in any way, shape, or form, I would have loved to see this team in this game. And finally, we have Elleraine, the Violet Solar Ranger. Now, we're getting a bunch of Solar Ranger cards coming up in the future with the Eternal Ranger pack, and I actually have been asked to show her off as well, so I think this is better time than any. Why not? I mean, I'm doing Orion, he's new. Matt is technically new as well, so 3 new Rangers in a sense. And she's going to be my battery for supplying me for all the energy I need for Matt to do his things and for Orion to activate his keys. Light in the Darkness. Once per battle, when you add energy from your personal storage to the shared energy pool, gain 1 energy. I decided not also to give her the token, because I don't have a purple token for 1. Probably should figure out something with that. And then 2, all it is just transferring her energy from here to here. So I'm just giving her 2 energy. So literally it's like, all right, put that in. Whoop, oh, it's 2, hooray. So she will always provide 2 energy into the center as opposed to 1. So there you have it, everybody. Our team for taking on the new green candle and saving the next Green Ranger. Regardless if you like Matt or not, which I've seen a lot of division amongst everybody. I don't even have an opinion of him at all yet, but so far I've seen some pretty cool stuff, and yeah, I'd like to learn more about him in the long run. All right, everybody, here we go. I'm just gonna move these out of the way, grab this way, and let's go to our first set of deployments, see where everybody lands, and then of course, get ourselves ready to save our friend. All right, round 1, here we go. First deployment, 2 Z-Putties to the Industrial District. As always, it's the best idea to keep all of our enemies as tightly packed as possible, but you know, that never really works out the way you want it to in the beginning. Also, to try to get some triples. Come on, give me some triples. Oh, nice! It's a chaos triple, but hey, whatever. 3 chaos putties, super putties, however you want to call them, heading to the power plant. Oh, the chaos putties are here. They're charging up with the energy within the plant. Oh no, they're just going to be even more annoying to deal with now. Number 3, we have, wow, I'm really happy that we haven't seen any singles yet. But we're also getting very spread out. 2 Zs to the dockyard. So far, that power plant is really where I want to go right now because it has the most enemies, but kind of hoping nobody goes to Angel Grove High and just kind of fills in, just fill in 2 more of these and that's it. Maybe not even so much because I'd like to just clear them out rather than having more than 4 in one area. I don't know, whatever. Going to the industrial district, we have, okay, that'll work. That's really nice. 2 more Z putties over there. Beautiful. The Zs are so ridiculous in that all you need to do is punch them in the giant Z on their chest to defeat them. They're supposed to be so much stronger and so much more crazy, but what an obvious weak point. All right, so we know that this is going to be Chaos Putties, and they are heading also to the industrial district. Oh, there it is. Oh, I'm going to have to stay over there because now that's going to panic. All right, well, at least it gives me a good idea of what it is I want to do. So we're going to go 1, 2, and then that is going to panic right here. Now, what I think I would rather do first, all right, so we got all that. We got 6 guys over here, so that's the maximum that's going to be. I do have 3 and 2. Let's strategize here, guys. All right, so what I'm thinking is that we use 1 action token to move to the power plant, and then another one in order to do battle, and then clear those 3 out of there. This way, we don't have to worry about this spot, panicking during the next round of deployments. Yes, this spot panicked, but if I can clear this out completely, then that just opens up more room for more guys to get to. Then we can use another movement to go to the industrial district, another battle to thin the ranks, and then depending on how many cards we have left in our deck, we'll either do a last one in order to recover, which again, depending on who I'm recovering, Matt might lose a card, but we'll have to see. Or we just finish up the crew there. So I think that is a good plan to work with. Let's go ahead and flip our first action token and zoom on in to the power plant. Here we go. The power. Because they don't actually speak English. They're more gargling. Wrong way. Sorry about that, guys. Stand down, fiends. We're here to take you down. Yeah. I honestly do not remember how Orion sounded, what his personality was like and everything. Everyone says that Matt Cook is Tommy 2.0, so I kind of get the confidence going. And Ella, whatever you want to call her, I don't remember at all her personality. So bear with me if I make these guys sound very interesting and weird, maybe not as much their character as we go along. But anywho, let's draw our opening hand of cards. I always like doing this first before putting down the putties, before putting down cards in general, because it's easier. So we're going to start by drawing 2 from Matt. So we got a solo strike right here before rolling. I may remove 1 die from this attack. If I do, I return this card to my hand instead of discarding it, which is really nice considering he can add a dice to the attack. And if I add more dice, I can just get rid of 1 and it comes back. So a 0 cost attack is always good to have in your hand at all times. Oh, good. And we have, I don't need this now, unfortunately, but we have Zord Strike. This is one of the new cards that came from the Ally Pack 4. It's Mighty Morphin, this is Mighty Morphin Green, this is Mighty Morphin Green Ranger, so it's all the same thing regardless. A 0 cost 2 dice attack, which is fine on its own. You may exhaust 1 card before rolling. If you do, add 3 dice to this attack and may divide the damage up among any number of targets. Not very good now, super good later on in the game. All right, we'll do 2 for Orion. We have, and I really got to cover some of these guys a little bit later. I haven't really officially done a breakdown for Orion. I think I did L already in one of my allied packs. Yes, I did. I'm actually pretty sure I did, but I haven't done anything with Orion. 6-fold guard, 0 cost reaction card. Play this card when you reveal a card for defense, gain 1 energy, and draw 1 card from your key deck. There you go. Add the shield value of the drawn card to the shield value of the revealed card. So that's pretty good. That could actually build out a very powerful defense for whatever it is that he needs to do. and activate Ranger Key. Here it is. A 0-cost maneuver card. Gain the character ability of one of your key deck's linked character cards until the end of this battle. Keep that in mind. There's some of them that have more of passive for it. It's to the end of battle. Very good card right here. Another Ranger may immediately play 1 card. Got an idea with that with the solo thing, by the way. Let's draw from L. Desperate Measure, 0 cost. A lot of 0 costs here. I don't have to worry about any energy. 2 dice attack if there's no energy in the shared pool, which I don't need it for anything. This would have 1 guaranteed attack to it, which is not bad. Hey, there we go. Some 3 energy shots. Void Chakram. 4 dice attack. After you resolve this attack, if there's no energy in the shared pool, gain 3 energy. So this is really only good if you have exactly 3 energy in there. It's basically a free 4 dice attack in that case, which is very possible to do. I'm going to draw 1 more from Orion just to get him in there. 6-fold strike, 1 energy, finally something there. 3 dice attack, you may discard 1 key card to return this card to your hand instead of discarding it. So remember, you discard from your hand a key card, it goes to the bottom of the deck, so it's really not out of the game at all. And then I get to keep that. So that's fun in order to get an interesting cycle. This is going to be a fun one. Oh man, I can't wait to get this going. I missed this game, I did. All right, here we go. Chaos Putties Awry. We're in the power plant. They're charging up. We got 3 of them in order to deal with. First one, cause havoc, 2 health, drain 1 energy, skip the next Ranger turn in battle. We got to get rid of that. We got a fast card, so that's going to go in front. So we're immediately going to lose our first turn. I'm just going to put this right here. 1 Ranger must discard 1 random card from their hand. If it's an attack, deal 2 damage to another Ranger. Otherwise, drain 1 energy. That stinks. And then Chaos Burst. See, all green. A lot of green right here. Expect these guys to show up quite a bit when I do my Forever Green run. Who knows whenever we get that stuff. Deal an amount of damage to a single Ranger equal to the number of cards in their hand. If their hand is empty, they must discard the top card of their deck instead. Remember, this is all based off of solo rules, so their hand, even though it's my hand in total, technically based off of this, I have 2 for green, 3 for silver, and 2 for purple, so that's where those numbers would break down from. Okay, so without any guards or passives on here, the Force Frenzy is going to go first. 1 Ranger must discard 1 random card from their hand. I'm actually going to have Orion do it because 2 out of the 3 cards in his hand, I don't mind if he discards. There is 1 particularly that I don't want him to discard, but we'll see what happens when I give it a bit of a shit. All right, whatever one got thrown out. The 6-fold guard. Okay, so that's getting discarded. It is a reaction, so it's not an attack. So then we actually lose an energy in the center. So it drains it right here, which stinks, but I think we'll still be okay in the long run. Because now we're going to be going after Cause Havoc right here, because I need to beat this in order not to lose a turn. So it is our turn right now. I am going to trigger Activate Ranger Key. Gain the character ability of one of your character key link cards till the end of battle, and then another Ranger immediately plays a card. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here, and I'm actually going to choose, where are you? There we are. Legendary Mentor, Dino Thunder Black. So that's right here. So I have that. Once per battle, before a Ranger performs an attack, you may add 1 die to that attack. To which then I will go ahead and do a solo strike from, I'm going to call him Tom, I'm going to try to, from Matthew. Now, there is something that's been popping up a few places here and there that I've been seeing people say that you draw a card after every time, in solo mode, after every time you play a card. So I played Silver, I ideally could have drawn a card from either one of the other 2 Rangers in order to replace it. I like to play it personally at the end of the Ranger's turn. You get that draw ability and you draw from the deck of a Ranger you haven't used in a combo. So if you use a combo of all 3 Rangers, then you're not drawing any cards, which could put you at a bit of disadvantage, but you know, it's like risk versus reward type deal, doing a big attack with everybody as opposed to, you know, just 1 at a time. But this is all I'm going to do for here, because what I'm doing now is we will do the solo strike. We will add a dice to it. So now it is 3 dice. And I think what I'm going to do then is I'm going to grab one of Matt's other dice here and make it a 4 dice attack, but I'm going to reduce it by 1 dice. So this way solo strike comes back to my hand. Isn't that some fun math for you? All right, so we're going after Cause Havoc. We need to do 2 damage. Ba-bam, ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Mighty Green Ranger comes in with 3 damage. So that has been defeated, which is great. We remove one of these from the board, and we will put that on the board in a moment. Solo Strike actually comes back to my hand. This goes to the discard pile. And again, I will draw from L, getting the Nova Flare. For 2 energy maneuver, roll 4 dice and deal that much damage divided among any number of enemies. Remove all energy from the shared pool. Interesting. But these guys go, boop, and it is our turn once again. Kind of definitely want to beat this, and then maybe I will use the Nova Blast. Nova Flare, that's what I meant, Nova Flare. Maybe, I mean, there's only 1 energy in the pool right now. If she drops her stuff into here, I could do that. I could just drop 1, 2, 3, because it's once per battle. When you add energy from your personal storage to the shared energy pool, gain 1 energy. So 2 goes in. So I have 3. I could do my Void Chakram, because then there would be no energy in the pool, and then 3 would gain into it. But it would just be 4 dice against the Chaos Burst. Well, before we do everything else, we will also go ahead and trigger Orion's ability, because it's once per Ranger turn in battle. It is still his turn. Well, the Ranger's turn anyway. So I'm going to discard 6-fold Strike. That's going to go to his discard pile, and I'm going to draw the top card of his key deck, which is the Power Pod Sword. Now, I did mostly green, white, and Black Ranger cards in here, but of course I have a few Turbo, and this is the only Zeo card that I have in this deck, because Zeo Ranger Red is all about star powers, and I will never get that type of star defense pull. But play this card when any Ranger performs an attack to add 1 dice to attack. That Ranger may divide that damage among any number of targets. Oh yes! Okay, it's an energy burst, but we're going to go ahead and do this. We're going to use the Void Chakram right now. We'll take all 3 energy from the pool in order to pay for this to do a 4 dice attack. And then Orion will use the 1 energy that he has on his card in order to activate the Power Pod Sword. This is now a 5 dice attack, being able to divide among any number of targets that I wish. And because the energy pool is going to be empty, we will gain 3 energy at the end of this attack. Oh yeah, that's it. A little bit of silver, a little bit of purple, little bit of red within this, and let's see what we can do. 3 is the minimum that I would like to do, but of course I want to do more. 1, 2, 3, 4 all together. All right, fantastic. So 1, 2, 3, this has been defeated. We'll get rid of that, and we'll do the 4th shot right there for Force Frenzy. So this way, we only need 2 damage on that. These are now, this is going to go to her discard pile. This is going to go to the bottom of Orion's deck, and I will draw from Matt to get, his other unique card, the Dragon's Blessing. Play this card when any Ranger suffers damage, reduce it by 3, and then during the next Ranger turn in battle, instead of playing a card, that Ranger can perform 2 3-dice attacks. That is so amazing. All right, Power Pod Sword goes to the bottom. It doesn't matter, we're almost at the end of this battle anyway, so it's going to just kind of come back. I have the Super Putty right there. We'll take that out, and we'll put this here in order to represent the experience we got from that. 2 and 3 that we got from the Void Chakram, and here we go. 1 more round for the Rangers. Shaboom, shaboom, and of course we're just going to go ahead and solo strike that out. I am going to, add the dice from Matt's board to it, but then of course we're just going to get rid of it because I want Solo Strike to come back to his hand. Having that in my hand is really helpful, especially when, certain situations like this happen. I'm going to just tuck this under Orion right now because it's going to reach the end of the battle, and I'll worry about that next time. They want him to be more of a lone warrior as he is, so let's go Solo Strike. Oh yes, boom! Boom! 2 dice, 2 damage, as it should be. Back to my hand you go. Shaboom! You are defeated and cleared out of the power plant. I will draw from Orion to get 6-fold guard, the other 6-fold guard, sure, why not? And that, my friends, clears out our first area. Oh, that was good, that was fun, that brings me right back into the game. So happy that this is happening again. Let's head over to the board. We'll add this right here. I did forget to flip this to start the battle, so that we know is done. So we moved, we fought. We're going to go ahead and move once again. We're going to head over to the Industrial District. We will flip in order to just go right into the battle, so I'm not going to worry about it otherwise. And I think what I'm going to do is just kind of, I'm gonna leave. Yeah, I know. I don't have anything for Matt to recover, and I don't really want to recover anything for him because he'll lose cards fast if that's the case. Orion, he has a lot in his discard pile right now, but I should be able to pull some stuff to get some keys in his hand. And then I only have the Void Chakram right now for her. So if I get more stuff into her discard pile, I can go from there. Also, at the end of the round, I was able to absorb out from here. So we're going to take this one and put it here. And I'm going to give Elle 2, because now going into the next battle, she once per battle, can shove 2 into her instead of 1. Do, re, Ella. Bum, bum, bum. Nightlife is the right life at the industrial district. Okay, so we're doing pretty good in terms of our overall attacks and everything. Yeah, I probably would use the Nova Strike and then the Desperation Measure, which would be very nice. There's a lot of L stuff to be able to use here. I am just going to draw one more for Ryan, just to put that here. Super Silver Spear. That is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 dice attack. Holy crud. And then you could draw up to 3 cards from your key deck. So they just, remember, any card you draw, just go into his hand. So I don't have to draw from his deck at that point, because you know, anything that comes at him attack-wise or whatever, he'll be able to just kind of go from there. Yeah, that's really nice to have. But I think the Nova Flare might be the first thing to do. I don't have the ability to pull the Legendary Ranger or anything like that. But hey, we'll be all right. What are we going to fight? I just want to say that I am putting these back up here from Matt. It doesn't matter what facing they are. It's just I get to take one for whenever he does an attack on his turn. So that's fine. And then, yep, that's all we have. He's always going to be the leader, by the way, if that makes a difference for anything. Not really sure how much it does for the Z-Putties, but we're just going to go all 4 Z-Putties in this case, because that was a lot of energy drain in that last one. And I don't think there is some like that for the Z-Putties, but not as much. All right, first one, passive. Oh, those are always fun. While this card is in play, this is self-destruct. Each time a Z-Putty card, including this one, is defeated, deal 2 damage. Ew, don't like that. A guard card for the Z Shield. Drain 2 energy. Nope. We got another. Oh, goodness. So that's twice. Oh, and this is being guarded by both of them. Wow. So if I kill this, that's 4 damage, or 2 instances of 2 damage, I should say. Oh, man, that stinks. And the Fierce Strike. Ew. Okay, well, there is no fast, so that's good. So we do get the first turn. But regardless, that's guarded from that side. This is guarded from this side. And then they each have a passive on them that I need to deal with. So, oh, okay. Well, maybe that Nova... The problem is that Nova Flare isn't going to really help me too much, because even if I did get enough damage to do a good spread, I can only target this and this. I just got to take out the Z Shield first, because at least it won't do anything on their first turn. I'm going to go ahead and just do a solo strike on the Z Shield, and I'm not going to do the, before rolling, remove a dice from the attack to return it, because I need all 3 dice. Using all 3 dice is going to increase my chance in order to be able to beat it, and at this point, I have to destroy that thing before anything else. Oh, this is going to be tough. Plus, Matt's going to take 4 damage if he beats the Z Shield, but we'll see. Hey, there's a double! Come on, give me a single. There it is. Okay, cool. Fantastic. Matt's power fused through me and gave me that double, which still I think would have been, even if I got a single, would have been fine. So, oh boy, okay. Okay, so we did 1, 2, 3 right here. We did 4 technically, so that's defeated. Z-Putty can come off of here, which is great. Both of these guards have been removed. However, this was destroyed, therefore, that's 2 damage and 2 damage heading right towards Matt. Because I'm pretty sure it's supposed to just go to Matt. I mean, usually something like this is to whoever attacks it. So Matt was the active ranger that took this attack. I know it says deal 2 damage. Maybe other rangers can take it. It's 2 instances of 2 damage, but I'm going to go with just Matt for right now. So 2 damage to Matt. 1, 2 for the Dragon Rush. That's 1. And 1, 2 for his other solo strike is gone as well. Oh, man. And I chose not to use that. So that goes... And I'll draw from L, because I'm going to start using her a lot. The Solar Strike, X. Special, before you play this card, any ranger may reveal an attack card with an energy cost of 1 or 0. This card gains the energy cost value and text effects of that card. Okay. Oh, all right, it's a copy card. That's right. In any case, we're going to go ahead and Nova Flare right here. We'll use 4 dice, and we'll go after both self-destructs, because technically this has gone. Shaboom, and it is our turn once again. Let's drop this in here. This was 2 energy, and we're not dumping anything into the middle at all. At least not yet. So let's roll that dice. Those dice, those 4 dice that can hopefully give us 4 damage at the very least to take out both of those self-destructs. We got rid of 1, I guess. I guess that's good. Yeah, we got plenty of turns to get rid of some of the others. All right, so 4 damage, or 3 damage, I should say. So 1, 2, and we'll put the other one here on that self-destruct. So that blows apart right there. L is going to be taking 2 damage. So let's go ahead and do that. Flip 1 for the Solar X, man. And then 2 for Stronger Together. That goes on the bottom at least. Okay, so we're good with that. I'm actually not going to draw anything else. What I am going to do is flip there, and then we go. And we're just going to do Desperate Measures. I'm not even going to bother rolling because there's currently no energy in the shared pool. So I add 1 guaranteed attack to Desperate Measures, which is all I need for self-destruct. So this has also been defeated. I don't know why I took the lightning bolt, because we are right here on that turn. That is actually 2 Z-Putties now off of the board. And 2 more damage going to L. Stronger Together, that one has been defeated. Okay. Positive point, those 2 enemies, boom, gives us a full experience bar, pulling us up to level 1 and gaining us our first Zord. We should be able to gain 1 more experience by beating that Fierce Strike should that actually happen. 1, 2, 3. Oh, the Dragon Zord. Got that nice and quick, man. Nice. Exhaust this card when you defeat an enemy card when an attack that deals excess damage for an attack to another enemy card of your choice. Basically, it's like trampling. You do a ton of damage to the one enemy, and then all of a sudden, all that extra damage goes somewhere else because of the Dragon Zord. All right, that goes to the discard pile right there. Trigger, kaboom. I mean, you know what? No, I'm not. I thought I was going to play the Zord Strike, which is a 2 dice attack, and then it becomes a 5 dice attack that deals an amount of damage that I want to any number of targets, but I'm actually going to hold on to that for right now. I do want to do 3 damage to that guy. I think, geez, I'm going to discard my Silver Spear right now in order to draw from Orion's key deck. To gain a Dragon Shield, play this card when any ranger suffers damage, reduces it by 3. Next time you perform an attack, add 1 dice. All right, I was hoping for an attack, but it didn't really work out. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do the Solar Strike right here. Before you play this card, any ranger may reveal an attack card. I'm going to reveal the Zord Strike card. So basically, Solar Strike becomes a copy of Zord Strike. So it gains its energy cost, attack value, and the effect text. Where it's a 0 cost, 2 dice attack, and then I could exhaust the Zord and then do all this crazy stuff with it. I'm not going to exhaust the sword. Instead, the Solar Strike is just simply going to be a 2 dice attack. I'm trying this right now, and the Fierce Strike is going to go off, but I do have a way of defending it. I'm learning the best way to use these new cards that I have in front of me with L and Orion. What do we got? 1 whole damage. All right, that's fine. Finding these combos little by little, but I got to be careful with how many cards I actually use because I don't want my decks getting too thin before we get to the monster's turn. All right, so Solar Strike went. That was that. I'm actually going to draw from Orion. So he's going to get the Legendary Final Strike. Play any number of key cards 1 at a time with a total shield value of up to 6 shields. Question for you guys. Do I pay the energy cost for those key cards that I play? I'm going to say I do, because nothing says in there that you have to, that they are free. But I think it's just as like, play a card, play a card, play a card, play a card, like in rapid succession up to a 6 shield from my hand. So I can get like a whole bunch of things if I have a lot of shield key cards in my hands. So question for you guys, how would you play it? How would you interpret it? But that's how I thought it is. Anywho, Solar Strike is done. Fierce Strike goes. It is a 4 damaging attack, and I'm going to have Orion take that. But before he does, I am going to go ahead and do the 6-fold guard. Play this card when you reveal a card for defense, which I'm going to right now. I gain 1 energy and I draw 1 card from my key deck and I add the shield value to that. So the card that I draw first is the Activate Ranger key. So that is a 4 shield card. Now, I'll add 1 energy here, and then I'll draw from this, making a finishing blow. So now it is a 3 shield card. Yeah, that's not going to help me at all. So I still got to take 1 damage for Orion. Oh, and then that's a crushing strike. Oh, man. All right. He has 2 cards left in his deck. Yeah, he's definitely going to have to power up. But at least I can use that finishing blow that I got from using my key deck. It is the 1 energy that I managed to gain from it. It is a 2 dice attack. 1 dice attack for each hit token on the enemy card. So that's 1. So that is a 3 dice attack going up against a 2 health enemy. All right, Orion, don't let me down. Use Tommy's finishing blow to really knock this guy out of here. Yeah. There it is. Oh, my goodness. Thank goodness for that extra dice. Bam! Finished off completely, destroyed, defeated, boom. The last Z-Putty has been eliminated from this area, and then this goes to the bottom of the deck. We do get 1 here, we do get 1 here. Now comes the question. Now comes the thought process of, do I just go right into another battle? Going right into another battle will reset Matt, which actually, I'm just going to plop that up here right now. Of course, it will double up our energy because there'll be a brand new battle. Yes, Orion and Elle actually need to power up pretty immensely right now. But I think between the power of the Zord Rush, the Dragon Zord, and only the fact that there's only 2 Chaos Putties, even if one of them's fast, I think I can do it. Yeah, okay. We're going to do that. We're going to play, Matt, you're going to do your risky maneuvers here, my friend. Let's flip that, and we'll go into 1 more battle. Finishing off the Industrial District, trying to defeat those last 2 Chaos Putties, and fully clearing it out. I'm not even going to draw for my Rangers, because there's really no need to do that right now, because Matt should be able to take down both of these guys by himself, pending they're not fast. All right, so 2 health. That's great. That's great. And we do have a fast with Total Mayhem. I forgot that these guys are kind of fast. Deal 1 damage to each Ranger. Increase that damage by 1 for each panic location. 2 each Ranger. Oh, my goodness. All right, so it's popping right now. So really, it's 2 damage to each Ranger because the area they're in is considered panicked. All right, start with Matt, 2 damage. Oh, his Dragon Solo goes away, and the Dragon Shield does what it's supposed to do. 2 damage for Orion. I have 2 cards in my deck. Whoa, come back here. Everything's flying away, but the 6-fold strike was able to do that because it has 3 shields. So, hooray, he's still in it. And 2 damage to Elle. The Nova Flare is a 3 shield. Beautiful. All right, so really nothing lost, which is good. Okay, boop, boop. Now then, let us go ahead and do Zord Strike. It's a 2 dice attack. Haha, a 3 dice attack because I can only add 1 of his dice to each attack. Hang on, let me just reread it. Yes, it says each time you perform an attack during this battle, you may remove 1 dice from this card and add 1 dice to that attack. So, 3 dice attack right here. I am going to go ahead and exhaust the Dragon Zord appropriately enough in order to make this a 6 dice attack that I am able to spread amongst any number of targets. Yes, that is what we are doing. Oh boy, 6 whole dice, 5 damage. The odds are in my favor to be able to do this and for him to wipe out both of these guys in 1 massive attack. Oh, that's so close. Oh no, I'm off by 1. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh man. 1, 2. Oh, geez. Ow. And then 3, 4. Hang on, I gotta get another damage here. Oh man, that was so close. Oh, that was so close. All right, so this is gonna go to his discard pile. I'm gonna draw from Elle and hope that it's an attack. Desperate measures. Okay, so we're actually just gonna play that right now. I'm gonna put that right here. It's going to be our turn as is because the Chaos Potties are shot. Boom, right there. Let's take our dice and roll it up. We only need 1. We only need 1 attack in order to be able to take this guy down. Oh, okay, it rolled all the way over here. Oh boy, okay, good. Oh, I was a little worried right there. We don't get any benefit for the secondary effect of this because there's already energy in the pool, but this takes this guy out, clears out the Industrial District, unpanics it, And that officially will end round 1. Well, after we do a little bit of cleanup over there on the sideboard. Okay, here we go. Let's go ahead and just add in our 2 experience right there for defeating those 2 super putties. That's going to make things a lot easier in order to get as many Zords as we can going forward, of course. All right, let's give that back to Matt. So this is going to be the end of the round. Dragon Zord's going to unexhaust. However, because of the end of the round, the way that it is, we got to go to Matt's deck, flip over the first card, which happens to be the Dragon Rush. After resolve this attack, you may perform a second 2-dice attack, and that's just going to go over here. I'm going to leave this as a face-up card right there, and I think, yeah, so it's not a stack, so I'll have like a row of face-up cards here. Tommy can play any face-up card over here, not Tommy, Matt, the Green Ranger can play any face-up card that I have over here by taking 1 card from his hand and putting it to the bottom of his deck. So he's not really like losing a card either, but it's a weird way of kind of like regaining the energy back. So we're just going to put this up here just so we can kind of see what our cards are going to be as I end up losing them. Remember, if I lose all my cards, I can't draw anymore at all, then the game immediately ends. Now the problem's also going to be when I have to recover, because Matt's going to definitely need to recover, and then I got to shuffle it and then take the top one, whatever it is, and put it here as well. Zord Strike would be really nice to go there at any point as well, but that leaves me to having access to it once per battle, and that's it. Anywho, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and back to the big map. What's nice so far about this is it's very clear. We just have the 2 Z putties up here in the dockyard, and we know a monster is going to go on the field as well. So honestly, one of the first things that we're going to definitely have to do is recharge regardless of anything. And then I would say we go after that monster wherever it lands, fight it, possibly recharge again, and then knock something else out. But it really all depends on how these things fill up. So let's go ahead with our first deployment for a single Chaos Putty at Angel Grove High. This dude is just trying to get a higher education in energy and chaosium, so maybe he'll just hang there for the majority of the game, depending on what else, if anything else piles up there. Which in theory it will, but we'll have to see as we go along. Oh, there you go, see? I knew he had some classmates. Man, the loner is now being joined by the rest of his posse. 3 more Chaos Putties. Hopefully that stays like this for the remainder of this round, and then after I'm done with the monster, I can just come here and hopefully get rid of these 4 and clear that out. It all depends on where the monster is going, which we're going to find out right now. So we know we have 2 Chaos Putties. What is the monster? 1, they're heading to the dockyard, which will panic that location, because that's all 3 figures plus the 2 there, that's 5 altogether. We have the Evil Green Ranger. Surprisingly, I have not done a breakdown of this guy yet. I am planning on doing in the future a dark side of good Rangers things. So I can do like Daishi, Zanaku, Ranger Slayer, which I think I did the Ranger Slayer already. Yeah, I did her already way back. And I think she was my first villain breakdown I did. Second, because the first was the Psychos. But Evil Green Ranger needs to be part of that as well. Maybe Evil Trent or something like that. Evil Black Ranger Tommy too. But yeah, I got to talk about him more. I think I've only faced him once so far within this, and because, you know, Matt is trying to come to terms with his new powers and everything along that ways, why not have an evil version of him slow him down? I'm telling you, the guys at Boom Comics should probably play these games, because I bet they would get some fun storylines out of it. All right, shaboom right there. That is so great. And it also works as well, because if we go up here and defeat Evil Green Ranger this way, or Evil Matt, because again, he did have a Green with Evil saga. He did have a revitalized Sword of Darkness as well. Beating him will clear that area out completely, and then opens us up to get over here to beat these guys. We still have 2 more deployments, so who knows where the rest of the things are going to go, but hey. All right, so they will not be going to Angel Grove High. This is panicked, as I forgot to put down before. Oh, no, that's panicked now, because this dude's here. 1 lone cheerleading Z putty right there. So that's 5, 5, boom, 1 in the power plant. Great, that 1 over there is just going to make things really annoying, especially because of the Chaos Putty's ability to increase damage with that total mayhem, the more chaos that's on the field, or the more panicked. 2 more heading to the power plant. Yes, it says Angel Grove High, but you can't do that. Bump, 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 right over here. Now, once again, what is my better choice of action here? I really think, yeah, I think that utilizing the 5 that I have, we definitely use 1 to do a recharge at the very least for Elle and Orion. I would probably even do a second one to do Matt and Orion. So Orion would effectively gain 12 shields back because he's getting 2 recovers in this, and these each would gain 6 apiece. I could then use another 1 to bounce up over here, and that gives me 2 actions in order to beat him. I should hopefully only need to do it in 1, but we'll see what happens. So then we bounce over there. We would use the 1 to beat him. We would gain a 6th. Boy, depending on how we do, I may jump over here and lower this down because I would love to have space in order to drop things. But I think that's what we're going to do first is the recovers. Yeah, okay, so let's just do that. We're going to go in 1, 2 right here. So this is 2 recovers, okay? So it's going to be 6 shields, 12 shields, because effectively it's 1 recover to recover Matt and Orion, the second recover to recover Orion and Elle. Each recover will do each one by 6. Elle is so tough. She needs another recover, but she's also like 1 high. Like she has 7 instead of 6. I put both Desperate Measures, the Solarix. Any ranger may immediately play 1 card without paying its energy cost, and the Void Chakram back into her deck. All of those are amazing, especially energy gaining. I'm showing Orion now just because he has a lot. It's actually almost his 6-fold strike is the only thing left in his discard pile. So 6-fold guard, spear, the 6-fold guard, and then both of his, I need these. These are fantastic because they pull those extra abilities from the character cards that are linked to him. So that's great for him. And finally, we have Matt. And Matt has done a recover action, so I'm going to need to activate the green candle. Sword Strike, Dagger Solo, Solo Strike, and Dragon Rush all go back into his deck. All right, and then after another quick shuffle off screen and on screen, a Dragon Shield is now to the side right there. Now again, I could take whatever card I have in my hand, throw it to the bottom of his deck, and activate one of those. Once you activate it, you flip it over, so you can't do it again for the rest of the round. At the end of the round, they all flip back. So that is how the green candle is starting to siphon all this energy out of Matt. And with that said, let's go ahead and flip this next one. Move to the dockyard, and boom, fighting an evil Green Ranger.